The apple of my eye. Sometimes I even wonder what it all means. Beauty. What even is beauty? What causes something to be beautiful? Is something beautiful because it's pleasing to the eye? Or is it pleasing in another way? I've learned that the world houses beauty in unsuspecting ways. Beauty can be classed by two major categories: pleasing to the mind and pleasing to the heart. No matter how art school taught me, I knew that the mind can translate many things as pretty and prove it using math, proportions, color theory, light and dark, even frequency. Some people can call it attractive and say that a person has perfect proportions, perfect complexion, perfect skin color, perfect lighting in pictures. Things can be said the same thing if it meets those criteria sometimes. People can use it to prove or disprove why something is attractive. Even ideas can seem beautiful or pretty if in the beginning it makes sense. But afterwards, the regret can lead to horrific outcomes. People sometimes take pride in how things are beautiful, and sometimes scorn things that aren't. It's not something that I've ever truly liked. Sometimes I've fallen victim to it. Other times, I was the villain behind it. Thinking about it right now, seems like it's pretentious to be doing something like this. But over the years, I've thought about things that truly make something worth being called it or not worth it. Vanity, pride, greed, lust, they're not beautiful. They may seem visually attractive, but don't get me wrong, that's something that differs between people. And sure, people can draw things that appear visually beautiful or dress in ways that seem promiscuous or attractive, modest or immodest. And I, of course, hold no offense to any of the viewers that could be watching that do this sort of art. In fact, I personally find their work amazing. But the point is that that kind of beauty isn't permanent. It's something that changes over time. However, it goes on to my next point. Beauty in the heart. Something that, although it appears visually grotesque or painful, or something doesn't immediately sit well in the beginning, but leads into unexpected positive outcomes. Those things can be considered beautiful. Sometimes it could come from people that don't appear to be pretty. They don't have to be necessarily ugly. However, it's the way that they carry themselves. And sometimes if something requires immense pain and suffering, but ends up saving people, millions, hundreds or thousands, maybe even a few, then it's seen as martyrdom. Dark things and places can fill people with comfort, if it's tied to things pleasing to the heart. Sometimes empty places can seem beautiful if it's tied to peace and comfort or nostalgia. Cemeteries can sometimes be comforting too, when one thinks not of the sadness but of the life. Ugly people, to other people's standards, I don't tend to view people as ugly or beautiful anymore, except by the content of what they carry. Ugly people can be made beautiful, or they can be seen as beautiful by the way that they treat others. Beauty and the Beast syndrome. Call me a fanatic, but if someone was to go out of their way to help someone else, then that act itself is seen as beautiful, and that reflects on the way that they're seen. And vice versa, if a beautiful person carries themselves in the wrong way or tries to do the right thing for the wrong reason, that also reflects on themselves and makes them tarnished. And I've seen a lot of people that have gone down that path, that values their own appearances over the way that they carry themselves and treat others. The way that they treat themselves led to their downfall. And time also changes things as well. Things that are seen as plain or not pretty to look at, over time can be viewed as more beautiful, and sometimes things that are beautiful in the moment tend to become stagnant and stale as time passes on. They become either greater or lesser than what they originally were due to how it impacted the future. Let's be honest. How many things lasted this long and became worth talking due to beauty alone, unless there was something impactful to back it up? And it's not just people, it's moments in life, relationships. Sometimes a person can view a good relationship in the future as bad if it ended on negative terms, or if it ended in one person or the other being unhappy, or they found something that impacted them in an even more positive light. Others can view certain relationships as horrible in the moment, but then later on miss those moments, the good moments in between. Sometimes you can't ponder on whether something or someone seems divine. Situations, people, things. Sometimes you need to accept them for what they truly are, not what it looks like in the moment. A plain apple, untouched by disease, or an off-color apple, is still something worth eating. However, a gorgeous apple that's been laced with poison is still toxic. Choose your apples well.